right now. And yun nga, Calbs, na first phase ban na yung Vengeful Spirit along with the Bloodseeker na nakita din natin na last series for Game 2, hindi siya masyadong naging gaano ka-effective for LP Eagles. And Signal Ultra Warriors don't want it to be the same story here. So they're looking to ban out the Bloodseeker. And this immediately siguro also takes out the possibility na pwede kang mag-pick ng other combo heroes like the Tiny or Mirana, stuff like that. So eto, the Magnus ban coming out from Signal Ultra Warriors. So they decide to ban it themselves.
Actually, sila nga yung nag-ban eh, no? Akala ko yung kabilang team makakapag-ban. Pero ano ba yung mga usually na binaban niya? Emperors doesn't want, of course, yung Tiny na jump pa. Tiny still up and available. Pero Doom, alright? Doom? Doombringer ban from the side of the Emperors. So, Snapfire, nandyan din. Pwede naman nilang first pick kasi no-offlane din nila yan. Pero most of the time, Ares is playing a different hero. Like, for instance, yung Mirana. Yung sobrang high win rate na hero for him. Pero Snapfire, as predicted.
Yep. Yun nga eh. Very versatile pick kasi itong Snapfire, di ba, Calbs?
Yep. Alright. So, another good counter for that hero. Clockwork. Available yung Void. Are they gonna be playing the Void here? Or you face this Void?
Yeah, and picking it so early. I mean, siguro in some sense makakalamang na sila. Void, there is the possibility na hindi mo naman makatapat yung Clockwork early.
Nope.
He's going to do nothing towards your Chronosphere. So there's 4 other heroes that Happy Feet Emperors can pick to deal with the Void if ever. Pero Signal Ultra Warriors, they decide to go for that Tiny position 4. So ito yung what we believe is parang 2 supports na na-pick up na ng Signal Ultra Warriors. Pero we have to remember yung Snapfire, pwede na lang ilagay sa offlane, pwede na lang ilagay sa mid. So still very versatile with these first 2 picks coming out from Signal Ultra Warriors.
Saka yung Tiny din eh. I know James also plays Tiny, pero it's been a while since I've seen James. Mid laner na Tiny. Pero still viable pa rin naman yan. Pero kasi Clock is a good counter for the Tiny, pero I don't know. Pero Drow Ranger pick, okay, alright.
It's pretty good. Siguro they might decide to go for something early here, something very aggressive early on. So Clockwork will be the one standing in the front lines para yung Drow Ranger will be just hitting from the back, no? Again, like power picks are also like super open din dito. Hindi pa nababan yung Faceless Void for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors. We've seen it work against heroes like Drow and masyadong walang ma-offer yung Clockwork dito. There's still other things open for the side of yun nga, naban nga ng Emperors ng Faceless Void. A TA ban for Signal Ultra Warriors. So they're looking for something na, or I think they just don't want the TA in that middle lane. Masyadong mahirap yung rune control, yung Roche control. Yung traps kasi, sobrang you have to spend a lot of net worth buying sentry wards and whatnot.
Tsaka ano rin kung mapipik pa nila yung TA o Lanaya o Templar Assassin sa mid lane, upbeat tempo, mid-game oriented din, makakuha lang siya ng Deso or Blink Dagger, it's gonna be easy for them to push. Plus they do have enough damage to take out towers, or as you mentioned, yung Roshan din. May Meld Strike, so may minus armor kagad. So they can easily take objectives overall. Pero they still have a lot of choices here para dito sa side ng ng Signal Ultra.
Taking out Bob heroes na wala na dito yung Shadow Fiends, no? Pero as you were saying, keep going.
No. Sure man, just go ahead, man. Tapos na sabi ka.
Pero eto, like completely removing like Bob heroes. No Shadow Fiend, no TA. Yung Magnus na pwede na i-pick up nila. They just completely remove it. So I think they want a very easy time for James here in the middle lane. Yung mga options na pwede talagang mag-run over ng Drow Ranger. So yun nga, are we going to see open? Eto, I really like this pick. I think it's a super versatile, it's a super good pick. It works with the Clockwork. It keeps your Drow safe. At the same time, yung uptime kasi ng ultimo, it's always available. Sobrang short cooldown lang, diba? Almost every minute you can go to fight with a Spear of Mars in the Arena of Blood. So Mars is a very good pick, very tanky, very durable. And so far, I think he's just been very underutilized dito sa The National Season 2, no? So really excited how this will play out for Happy Feet Emperors.
Tsaka ano rin eh, yung Mars din kasi is a good hero so far against sa dalawang hero na napick nila. Snapfire and Tiny. Walang hero na makakalabas dun sa loob ng Arena of Blood eh. Pero yun nga lang, if the Tiny has a good lane or good start, early blink dagger, oh no, Drow Ranger man.
One in trouble.
Yeah, isang combo lang halos eh. Avatos, then siguro yung 3 toss din. They can easily take out the Drow. Pero, well, yeah, somewhat mahirap din naman. Hindi rin naman kasi mahirap yung makatapat nila siguro sa laning. Pero, Ogre Magi pick, okay. So, probably, Tiny is going to be played. No, still, open pa rin pala.
Yeah.
Pwede pa maging Yeah, pwede pa maging 4 or core. Support or core. Same goes for the Snapfire. Pero I don't think Ogre Magi is really good to be played as a core on this game, no?
Yeah. Especially not against a safe lane Drow Ranger, no? Kasi even if Ogre Magi goes into a lane with tons of regen, tons of armor, if you play him as a core against a Drow Ranger lane, it's still very unmanageable. Grabe yung slow, the harass that you're going to get from frost arrows, from multi shot. So I think Ogre Magi is best relegated to a position 5, like a position 5 here. And Batrider pickup coming from HFE. So we've actually more or less seen Batrider very heavily favored for yung last pick talaga, no, to kind of dismantle drafts. But HFE I think might be a little bit afraid to have it be banned kasi yun nga, may 2 bans available pa for both teams.
Tsaka ano rin eh, is this Batrider going to be played as a support or a core? They do have the Mars, they do have the Drow. Okay, PL. Hindi nila naban. They opted to go for the anti-mage na ban. PL is also good against the Drow. Kaya niya mag-close ng distance, di ba may double siya, may Phantom Rush. Di ba? Sobrang solid din nito. He can overwhelm yung Drow Ranger with his illusion tsaka yung right-click damage at the same time. Ano ba yung mga heroes na pwedeng laruin dito? Oh, binan na yung Queen of Pain. What else? Last time na they played against the Drow, they went for the Storm Spirit pick.
5 seconds. Yeah, and I think because it hasn't been banned, I think it might actually be a good pickup for them here. Someone na sobrang high tempo, or like he comes online earlier than Phantom Lancer, and he helps Tiny and Snapfire secure those kills. Then so it might actually work out for them if they decide to do it. And we've seen yung prowess na mid lane ng Signal Ultra Warriors dito to kind of control the map and control that tempo as that Storm Spirit, no?
Tsaka ano rin eh, maganda rin yung Storm against the Mars, di ba sa Arena of Blood? Kaya niya ball lightning in, ball lightning out, or ball lightning out, ball lightning in. Yung PL din, isang doppel lang, yung doppelganger niya, yung second skill niya. He can just go out to the arena. Tsaka sa clock din eh, goods din. Pero problema rito, Batrider against sa PL. Actually, yung PL, madali lang malaman kung sino yung tunay, especially kung yung magic stick yung PL during the laning phase.
That's true. Yun nga, the Storm Spirit ban comes out from Happy Feet Emperor. So another good option siguro sa kanila is I don't think we've seen them pick up the Void Spirit kit for the mid-lane position, but it's completely open. At the same time, we know that super versatile yung Signal Ultra Warriors. They might pull out a pocket pick that we haven't seen out in a while, or it's
Wind Ranger.
And it's the Wind Ranger, all right? Yep. So it's a battle of the Rangers here. We're looking at Wind Ranger versus Drow Ranger. Yeah, so I think Wind mid lane is going to be it doesn't combo as well with siguro any of these supports, diba? Like you can't look for rotations. Tiny really gets rid of trees during the toss, but you can reposition and then you have that shackle shot. Then it's completely available. At the same time, you don't really need too much to come online. That javelin is more than enough, no? Boots in a javelin and you can start decimating other lanes. To allow more space para sa Phantom Lancer nyo to get that Diffusal, to maybe get that Yasha, that Manta. So I think it's really up-tempo here for Signal Ultra Warriors. At the same time, Happy Feet Emperors will have to rely on yung power spikes or yung timings ng Drow Ranger, no? She really needs that level 6 because yung level 6 niya is a gigantic damage boost to her.
Tsaka ano pa lang din naman eh, they still have 45 seconds to go for their last pick. Actually, I mean, hindi ko alam kung ano talaga plano nila sa Batrider. Is it going to be played as 5 or a core? Clock kasi nandyan din eh. sobrang interesting ko anong pipiliin dito ng Happy Feet Emperors. Are they gonna go for a support since they're lacking a pure position 5 hero? Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, Clock can be played sometimes as 5. Same goes for the Batrider, 4-5. Yung Mars nakita ko na, but wala pa ako nakikitang game na nanalo yung support na Mars ever.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of teams are trying, but wala pa talaga nakapag-run ng Mars na support as solid.
Yung clear-cut pick lang nila dito is actually going to be the Drow Ranger on position 1, no? Pero we are going to see it's an offlane Timber, so as we see Enryu on it, Zenki is going to be on that Clockwork, and then eto. This is a bit weird. What are we gonna see with Mars and Batrider? This is what I'm waiting for.
Okay, position 1 na Samael is playing, or siya yung nag-pick ng Mars. So, position 1. Okay, alright. Okay.
Alright, so I'm not so sure how this is going to work out.
Same.
I'm not so sure how this is
Interesting.
going to work out. I do feel a heavy... Siguro mas na-favor ko talaga yung draft na Signal Ultra Warriors. It feels like, they're not being very reactionary. Sila yung parang nag-establish ng game nila. Like, they're like, this is how you want to play. Yung HFE, after siguro the first 3 picks, it felt like they were just reacting, like who can take care of this, who can take care of that. Parang there's no real cohesiveness outside of the Drow plus Mars na as long as somebody stands in front, okay na mag-hit yung Drow.
Well, technically yes, pero ako hindi talaga ako sure, pero we'll see na lang din. Siguro yung Mars, yung build niya rito is going to be something like a tanky build probably. Hindi pa ako talaga, even yung mga position position 1 na Mars before, wala pa ako nakikitang successful team din nakakapag-run ng ganun eh. Pero interesting, sobrang interesting. Medyo nagulat lang talaga ako sa draft kasi nag-pick sila ng may Clock sila, then they do have the Drow, then nag-Mars sila, tapos yung 4th pick nila Batrider, kaya medyo question. Pero goods na rin naman yung Timbersaw na pick. Maganda siya against sa Tiny. Ganda rin siya against sa Wind Ranger, sa Mars, or even the Ogre. Tsaka maganda rin siya sa Illusion, especially yung Chakram niya, di ba?
Sobrang easy mo mag-clear. There is, the standing problem na what if magka-diffuse na yung Phantom Lancer? It's quite din for Timbersaw to deal with if he's just standing there. Pero pag the Timber Chain is available, then it's just an easy escape for him. Hindi siya masyadong nag-worry for yung Phantom Rush or having the illusions constantly hit him kasi he can expend mana to get rid of them.
Nag-adjust yata sila ng ng roles eh. Last time that I've casted Happy Feet Emperors, that was yesterday. Owa or Samael played the position 1. Pero ngayon, I think he's not playing as a core.
Yeah, he might actually be going back to the 4 role here. So
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, this is going to be a completely interesting game. Pero yun nga, I think we missed the introduction here.
Oh yeah.
So for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, you have a Bat on the Phantom Lancer, Jamesy on his Wind Ranger, Van on Snapfire, Grims on Ogre Magi, and Eris on Tiny.
And for the side of the Emperors, we have Samael o si Owa playing the Mars, Bob for the Batrider, Cirque for the Drow, Zenki for the Clock, and Enryu sa kanyang Timbersaw.
The battle begins.
And this tournament is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. So this is game number 1, best of 2 series, guys. Kanina, draw yung series natin, 1-1. It's the Eagles versus
Look at
SMO.
how aggressive this is.
Oh my god.
Look at this. A bot just taking so much harass from Enryu. Level 1. Oh, he's dropping this out. A little bit of bad manners there from Enryu, but it's all in good faith as he decides to return back to the wave to meet it. It's actually a mid lane Batrider.
Mid na bat. Goods din naman against sa Wind Ranger, to be honest. Maganda rin naman siya. Mababanish yung Wind Ranger, even though na may Wind Run siya. So, this is the 3-lane view, Eagle's Eyes view, para dito sa ating game.
And top lane, Van.
The body blocks.
Trouble.
Wala siyang kukuy rito at alam nila yan. And they'll get the first blood in favor of the Emperors. Ganda ng block ng Clockwork.
Yep, super. And he was alone in the lane. The wave was being pushed. Walang pa kasi dito. Walang pa kasi Zenki dito. You know what? Like, malayo pa yung creep wave. I can just walk you down with Battery Assault. wala yung position 4 mo dito, I think this is going to be first blood and they get it. So good start here for the HFE.
Yeah, sobrang ganda rin kasi pag nakuha niyo first blood, you'll get the first blood bounty. Kaya kung sino makakuha ng kills na yun, actually support eh. Yung clock ni Senki nakakuha niya. And ito yung minimension ko talaga. Nahihirapan talaga yung clock against the matchup sa clockwork. Same goes for the Tiny. Counter ito ng ng two of that hero. Tiny, clock, diba? Sobrang basic.
Yan, nakikita naman natin na hindi pwedeng magbato ng first skill dito, yung snapfire. You can't throw that scatter blast because it gets cancelled out by the battery assault. But Zenki, I think, playing a little bit too aggressive, gets Avatos into the tower, finished up by Van, and he won't be too happy about that. Pero Cirque, in the meantime, is getting decent amounts of farm under his tower, so maybe an alright trade. They just don't want to give too much more to Van for the time being.
Medyo naging greedy lang siya. Nakita niya kasi yung parang opportunity. Oh, he's pretty low. I think I can get the kill. Pero lang, nandun yung backup, nandun yung Tiny. So he got punished. Pero kung kanina makikita rin ninyo, si Samael, he was able to pull off isang creep wave, then dinarag niya sa behind the tier 2 tower. Sobrang ganda nun kasi nakakuha siya ng free gold, free XP, tapos yung creep wave pa, sobrang low, so magpo-push out talaga yung lane pataas sa bottom.
So, as parang hindi din gaano ka-active na position for dito, what happens is nasa-secure niya yung experience for himself, and so him as Mars, as a Mars support, a higher level than Grim from the Overnight right here, and they try to go for a kill, pero mas mabilis dumating si Abat because of that Phantom Rush, and Grims is going to survive that engagement. And Ryu, a little bit too late on the follow-up there after the spear.
Magandang kill na naman yun. So another kill secured for the side of the Warrior side. Ooh, okay. Medyo hindi sila nagkaintindihan doon. Nag-cookie, then the toss, and Cirque trying to survive. Nakapagod ng cogs, and here comes the multi-shot. Oh no, Van is in trouble, and Van is also down. And they also want Ares na Tiny, pero wala na silang enough damage. Yun lang, medyo hindi nagkatugma yung doon, yung cookie tsaka yung toss.
Okay, I think what happened was, natos back niya sa Snapfire, pero nag-cookie kasi. So instead of getting tossed back, it got tossed in the same place kasi doon nag-cookie si Snapfire. So, but it's a little bit of miscommunication giving the second kill of HFE. Pero overall, this looks pretty even, no? And we're going to see the first rune spawns of the game. Nice shackle preventing him from taking it right away. Pero may bote na nga dito si Bob, and he takes the illusion rune. So, very nice dispel to have against a Batrider. But as a Batrider, there's not really much that you can do with it.
Okay, with the use of the illusion rune. Pero nandito rin yung kanilang support. Punish. 1 for 1. Got burst.
Yep, 1 for 1, and actually both supports rotating here to get the XP from their dead cores, but Jamesy and Bob do decide to finish off each other there.
Ano rin hindi lang clutch yung shackle shot doon. I mean shackle shot. Pero at least, hindi ko lang napansin kung sino yung nakakuha nung unang kill. Uy, the toss back. Well played, sir. Kaso may ipit yata siya rito. May avalanche pa rin siya, so he's fine.
Yep, the avalanche was there, and if wala naman siyang, or if he needed mana, there may isang mangga pa naman siya, so he has it in his vent where he can pop it if ever he needed mana. Now he's getting pressured in terms of bounty runes, and we might see actually a few bounty. Oh no, but Van actually gets a nice sneaky bottle there on the bounty rune. Meanwhile on the bottom lane, Jamesy actually is getting dived again, and so they have to rotate Eris here, and Eris lands the avalanche but doesn't have vision of Bob. Bob does have a Rattle, so he can try to go for this, and he does. Zenki's also there with a battery assault. Into the top. Trying to get a little bit of action for himself. Here's into the front. Bob gets the kill with the last bit of that Firefly. So UTP in your position for him, but you still end up losing the fight, and now it seems like it's a good lane for, or it seems like it's such a good early game for HFE's middle lane. 2 kills onto Jamesy now. And Batrider is being very dominant in this middle lane. So even if natatalo siya in terms of CS or team support,
no.
Top lane though, Cubs.
Oh no, not fire. One more hit and there you go.
A lonely death.
Medyo lagi sila nakakot out of position. Yung Wind Ranger naman kanina, merong stick enable stacks, like 5. Sobrang sakit nun. Right click, tas naka Firefly, yung Batrider. So sasagasaan lang talaga siya.
Yep. And the thing about sa sticky napalm siguro na not too many people are familiar of sa Dota kasi, we actually have a technical issue here. So disconnection from the Drow Ranger. So we're gonna go into a quick pause while we wait for the reconnection. But yun nga, as I was saying, no, what most people don't know or aren't aware of about sticky napalm is that it actually reduces or increases yung turn rate mo. So
sobrang bagal.
In Dota there's a thing called turn rate where not all heroes turn around the same at the same speed. No, some people have gigantic backs, or some heroes have gigantic backs that have it's a little bit worrying to turn around. Pero yun nga, sticky napalm amplifies it more so na babagal talaga yung turn rate mo. And Wind Ranger likes to juke around with Wind Run kasi it's a massive speed boost, and it's easier for her to like turn angles and stuff like that. No? So para you can get out of range of that Firefly. Pero what sticky napalm does is that since nare-reduce you can't turn around as easily, or you can't turn back as easily. So the more stacks it is, the more damage that Firefly does, the harder it is for Wind Ranger to move. Ultimately, mamamatay talaga siya.
Tsaka, ano na nga, yung Wind Ranger is one of a good hero na medyo mabilis na nga yung turn rate. Isa sa mga mababagal na turn rate na nakita ko, yung mga nagagamit ko usually, Mirana, di ba? Mabagal yung turn rate nun eh. So, kung malalagyan ka pa ng sticky napalm, oh man, it's gonna be such a difficult time to move around.
Oh, but top lane, another 3-hero engagement here.
Oh no, huli siya rito. That was a pretty nice cog. Hindi niya matotos sa tropa niya. Yun nga lang, toss na lang, and Ares is again down for this game. Uy, yung shackles, nag-blast, ayun pa yung fire blast. And this is gonna be enough. Enough na enough yata. Nagpop ng magic stick. Fairy fire. Still, the power shot finishing him off.
Yep. Very nice power shot there from James. So really making use of yung focus fire. So even without that javelin, you're making use of yung the damage that's coming in from that fire blast, from that ignite. Also slowing that Batrider down. So very much needed rotation. Nakita natin James is now a little bit ahead of Bob in that middle lane.
Pero
in terms of net worth.
Kasi wala pa ako nakitang way to burst out the Timber. Feeling ko yun yung pinakamalaking problem ng Signal Ultra Wars in this game. Alright, with Avalanche, may cookie pa rin. Pero Bob with his Batrider, naka-Firefly. And they'll take him, the lasso latches. It's gonna be enough nga ba? Wala.
Wala silang toss back as of that moment kasi nagamit na nila. Pero it's still a pretty good rotation coming in from HFE. They're currently 4 ahead. And a bot, however, secures at DD. It's gonna be easier for him to farm. Pero nangyayari dito, this is why Timber's on such a good pick in games like this kasi nag-create siya ng dead lane. So lanes that like people, oh, look at that damage coming in from a bot and Samael. It's just gonna go down. Bob here might be in trouble here.
Kaso alam kung saan yung tunay, nandiyan yung Timber so, and he will also fall, man. Nakabawi.
I think they realized yung the threat of a double damage. We can't just do this with two heroes. Samael already went down. Bob can't go down, so they had to TP in the 3 and 4 there. And Ryu, not too happy that he had to leave his lane, pero it's just gonna come back right to it.
So right now, 5-9. Lamang yung Emperors dito in terms of kill. Pero 9 minutes in, papunta na tayo sa patapos na tayo ng laning phase sa early game.
Yep, and Cirque gonna do his own stacking here.
Self-stack. Kasi hindi niya na-stack maigi. Hindi siya nakapag-stack ng camp doon. So he missed that chance to try to pull out double stack. Avalanche, nandyan din. Nandyan yung draw, Cirque, with the frozen arrow.
They're going for Van. Van is the priority here. They don't care about Eris anymore. The Firefly is there. Shackle does latch. Game 2 does have a javelin, and Bob going to the low ground. Are you insane? But no, as Firefly runs out, he still gets chased by the Projectile from Focus Fire and getting away there. Cirque, but he's TP'd back to the fountain, I think, to regen. And siguro magtitake na siya ng the few stacks that he made for himself. It's a bit difficult to go to the top lane now that nag-rotate na yung Phantom Lancer dun.
Sayang din cooldown yung Avalanche, yung 2-second cooldown na lang. Swerte rin, nakatakas, walang shackle, wala silang papigil ng nagti-TP out na Drow Ranger. So, okay na rin in a way. Napanish sila yung yung Batrider. Pero nakuha nila si Bat.
Look at the patience from Zenki there, waiting on the rune.
Yung nga lang, Arena of Blood. Ang kunat ng Ogre eh. Pero Zerg is done to provide damage. Silence up, so patay yung Ogre Magi dito. Grims will fall.
Nakatawa lang, he still survived through the arena, no? He didn't die until it went down. Pero Zenki, if he had hook shot there, pwede yung makancel yung TP, manggulo lang. But decide not to go for it. Ban, top lane, getting a little bit of hassled here by Envy. So ayaw talaga nila na in-lane yung Phantom Lancer against this, against Timber. So there's just no way for the Illusions to deal with it as of the moment, no? Oh, toss to the Mortimer. This is Grims is here, but can't be locked down anyone in place. The Shaka shot does so perfectly, and James C gonna take that kill for himself. And Ryu, a little bit low on mana, pero may Soul Reach siya, may Mangga, may Arcane Boots. He's gonna walk away, come back later with a full mana.
And malapit na rin dito yung Monkey King bar ng Windranger ni James C. Medyo, eto na yung physical damage na manggagaling sa side ng Signal. So maski gaano ka-tanky yung yung Timber, di ba?
Yep.
Shackle, focus fire. Oh my god, the damage, man.
Yep, and if titignan natin dito, actually, they're going for a smoke play just because they realize that they deal way more damage on the side of HFE as long as they keep the fights very quick, no? Because siguro, with the Batrider and the Timber Saw, they like to, HFE, they like to keep their fights quite late. But now, we're going on bottom lane. Here into the cogs, the multi-shot is there, but can he make it under for the doppelganger? Is there a juke? However, no, it's not possible. The Arena of Blood is there, so they commit 2 ults on him, but he does go down eventually. Very nice smoke coming in from HFE, getting the high priority kill.
Ang ganda rin nung ang ganda rin dun ng hook shot on point, plus the gust. May magic stick ka na kaya nagkaroon pa siya ng chance to double, pero yun lang, ito lang kapalit nun. Which is heavily favored pa rin sa side ng Emperors yung nangyari na yun.
Yeah, I mean, you trade your position 5 for your position 5 clock for the enemy's position 1 Phantom Lancer. Just take it any day.
Timber, wala pang major item.
I mean, he's going for a Glimmer Cape first, actually.
Yeah.
So that's something na alam ko hindi masyado nakikita ng mga viewers natin or ng mga naglalaro ng Dota natin dyan. Pero going for that Glimmer Cape is actually very good. It helps especially against the Snapfire, against the Tiny, and even against the Phantom Lancer. Alam naman natin na as position 1 cores, medyo hindi sila ng detection or duster. They like to play away from their team. So he can freely contest a button, whatever lane he tries to go to without threat of actually dying to him. As may escape siya in the form of like Glimmer Cape plus yung Timber Chain.
Tsaka maganda rin yung itemization. Tsaka mayaman yung Mars Meron na siya tranquil and magbe-blink dagger yung on cue on the hero. Abad is here, He already used his double. Flame Break will connect. Ayun yung Chakra. There's the Timber Chain and the Flaming Lash for the follow-up. Pero paano? How will they survive?
That was there.
Okay, nanito rin si James. Pero yung nakapat talaga And he will take out the bot. Pero may hook shot. Connect on 2. Ang ganda pa ng back. Arena of Blood is here. But 2 heroes down kagad sa side ng Emperor. Super 2 exchange. And yung Mars na iwan. Huli pa, yun yung shackles pero hindi nag-clutch sa 3 line. Pero mahuhuli ba ba? This is the toss. Power shot will also connect. And Bob, mabibili na siya mag-Firefly. Firefly out. Wala, cooldown pa rin yung shackle shot in 3 seconds. End of aggression.
Grabe, just diving that tier 1, but also, even though they did give up 3 heroes, HFE, I'm not so sure if they needed Cirque in that fight to TP and it's gonna help out. Kasi if that fight worked out for them, mangyayari is they can take the tier 1 tower at the top lane. It's more open yung Radiant Triangle, diba? And also easier access to Roshan should they decide to take it. Pero, nangyari dito, they just let Cirque farm on the opposite side of the map, but if ever mag-decide na mag-re-engage yung Signal Ultra Warriors dito, Cirque is just far away from harm. So, not too sure if yun talaga yung plano ng HFE dun, if they plan to create space on the opposite side without having Cirque join them. Pero I think it still secures a little bit of farm from Cirque, who is a little bit behind of the other cores in the game, only ahead of Snapfire as of this point.
Tsaka ito na dapat yung timing wherein yung HFE na mag-group up, go for the objective. Pero the battle for the runes being won by Ares. Okay, meron naman siyang Timber Chain out, so he'll be fine.
Just look at that damage though. Instantly half yung life ni Eric there after whirling the Timber Chain and the Chakram from the Timber Saw. But the Fuse the Blade has already been finished up on a bot, so not the fastest timing ever, but still respectably very early, around 14-15 minutes, and they can try to look for a fight here. Pero I'm pretty sure that they know something is up with the side of HFE, and they're gonna want to position themselves around the entrances ng jungle nila. Wary of, yun nga, may Arena of Blood, may hookshot pa dito. Grimm's trying to make the smoke here.
Oh, they know. They know. Kaya na si Grimm's, kita. And a good cogs from the clock, but we have a disconnected player. So that's the reason why we're on a pause. So, tamang wait lang tayo dito, guys. Pero so far sa nangyari, no? I mean, go. Sorry, man.
They actually put Grimm's there on the front line para like, gusto nyo mag-smoke, we smell a smoke coming, eto, we're just gonna put our position 5 there, ally nila namin so we don't get any more casualties. You'll be happy enough with that. I mean, it's not the best result that HFE can get, pero they'll be happy enough with that. They can force at least rotation siguro to the enemy tier 1s or Signal Ultra Warriors tier 1s. Kasi after that smoke, what do you do? Like, you want to secure an objective, you can't just go back to farming. Nagka-group up na kayo eh. Diba? So you have to take something together as a team. We are going to see what happens here.
Oh, that was a pretty nice
flaming lasso into the Arena of Blood. James is in a bit of trouble here. And you're also taking a little bit of damage from Abat. No, I don't think it's enough with James dead. There's no focus fire. Bob does go down. More and more kisses. Dealing a little bit, but obviously they just take down Bob. So it's a 2-for-1 exchange. And what they get a ward on Abat and a deny on the tier 1 tower. So it's good enough, but that's the second tier 1 tower of the game. Oh, meanwhile, Eris is in a bit of trouble too. Look at these Zhao with frost arrow. Oh, Marksmanship is doing a hell of a lot of damage, and Eris does drop down. Dan gets the kill on the Zenku with the final cookie with the multi-shot. Abat is here. He's eyeing him down. This is Pulse 1 versus Pulse 1. He has no choice. He has to keep me away. We don't have any cancel for you. Already used cookie. It's almost too far away, but that Glimmer Cape coming into use. That's what I said. Glimmer Cape into the Timber Chain. He walks a little bit away and Abat disengages. So a little bit of map control going to the side of HFE. They're now ahead by 3K. A little bit worrying for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors. They're giving up a little bit of map control here.
Wala na yung vision din nila eh. Tier 1 tower is down. Maski na deny ni Abat, one of the important towers. Lagi ko ito minamention set eh. Yung tier 1 tower sa mid lane, sobrang importante. Map control wise, of course, yung rush pit control din, di ba? Once na mawala yan, yung access sa rush pit medyo limited na. Especially if you're on the Radiant side. Di ba? Kasi walang ano dyan eh, walang outpost. Kung ikukumpara mo sa side ng Dire, pero uy! That was a big pick-off! Bawi!
Yep, they finally do get the much-needed kill on Turk. Dominating streak na pala si Turk nun. So, he's not gonna be too happy about being out for 40 seconds. Pero, Signal Ultra Warriors will be more than happy to take that. From a 3K lead down to a 1K after that kill on Turk. Meanwhile, hookshot goes out. Oh no!
Alam ko na eh!
He was in the cards!
Yeah, that was a big mistake or error. Sayang yung cookie doon.
I think actually yung inisip nila is mapapasok yung Tiny sa cogs. And that power stop cookie was just preemptive, no? So that if ever he is inside cogs, it can force him out. Pero what happened is beautiful play by Zenki there. He cogs a little bit below, but meanwhile, fight happening bottom lane. Samael is gonna go down right away. So much mana burn. Jamesy, however, is doing a lot of damage still, and Turk just decides to run away. Bob, however, also goes down to Grimm's and Abat here, and another DD. How lucky is Abat?
Kaya ang sakit. Well, does he have the DD when he start right-clicking earlier? No.
No, he did not.
Okay.
This is just the second DD for him, 18 minutes into the game, and they take down that tier 1 tower easily. Eris?
Oh no.
That's another deny!
They can still chase this one out. Oh, there we go.
Oh, the Glimmer!
Glimmer game!
Life more than one, but meanwhile, what is gonna save Grimm's life here? The mech actually coming from behind here, but can he run away? He's way too slow. There's vision under the multi-shot is there. Frost arrows coming out. Eris, will you toss him away? He's not gonna survive, but they do trade him out for a kill on Zerg, and Zerg's gonna go down after taking out Grimm's. And there's a blink dagger on Wind Ranger already.
Well, that was not worth it, man.
But also, it's just engagement after engagement here, and James, he does go down to in the very end to Bob and Samael. You know, like, It's been very aggressive. It's been very confusing. These guys have just been like, all right, let's fight. Never mind, somebody died. And I'm like, wait, we can fight again.
That was a really nice blink in into lasso coming from Bob. Nahuli dun si James. He was caught off position then. And tsaka who would expect, di ba?
Like, you thought that after killing the position 1, siguro they'd all back off, they'd all disengage, cover space on the other side of the map. Pero they're like, nah man, we're not gonna stop there. We want revenge. You killed our carry.
I'll get another core though. May regeneration rune. Kaya na-reserve to kasi kay Bob. Right.
Yung area dito malapit sa mid lane, and this is how you suffer without access to your tier 1 tower. You just lose some control of your jungle. Nawawala yung mga entrance sa jungle that you can actually kind of cover with that tier 1 tower. Pero...
And the dive again. And that was a nice
blink.
What the hook shot? I mean, hook shot from behind. Yung nga lang, hindi ganun maganda. And they can even punish the clockwork here. Napakaganda po which will connect. And that toss onto the tower. Shackle shot will miss though, pero wala. Huli pa rin ang power shot ni James.
That was a beautiful toss actually. Back into tower range where the rest of the team was waiting for him. Yung ginawa ni Zenk, he didn't actually was, he tried to cogs and bait out the snapfire cookie, pero Van a little bit patient on that end na, not actually releasing that fire snap cookie right away. So really good play there coming up from the side of Signal Ultra Warriors. But Smoke here.
3-man Smoke. And the side of the Emperors also playing it safe. And they know something's up. Walang tao sa mapa. Actually, yung PL lang yung naka-reveal sa map o yung nagpa-farm sa map. Kaya yung positioning nila, they're playing it just safe. Safe play lang, o play safe.
Dire's structures are fortified.
HFE did not want to give out any more kills. They haven't been getting yung priority kills lately. They haven't gotten a kill on Abbat recently, and so they're not allowed to make so many mistakes. They're not allowed to kind of take too much space on the map na magkakahiwalay-walay sila, because that's when PL does really good. When all his illusions are just up against one guy with no way to defend himself. And Enryu, again, pressuring up this tier 2 tower.
Radiant's top tower is under
Link
attack.
MKB for the Wind Ranger for James C. And the side of the Emperors, they actually have a good position. Nasa high ground sila. Indraw just blasting off towers. Kasama niya rito yung Timber Saw. Pero Smoke, again, from the Warrior side. Ganda yung position ng rito ayun na, mapapap na in any moment. Okay, there you go, napap yung Smoke. And yun yung Fire Blast in the flank.
Beautiful shackle!
Arino Blood is a bit too late. Nandito rin yung Mortimer Kisses. Natak sila na po. That was a pretty nice toss. Pero again, the Glimmer Cape on effect. Timber Chain. Now, kaso magkukull down yung dagger nakasabi ko lang. Timber Chain, pataas, and James looking for the angle.
Another Glimmer!
Walang detection,
saved his
brother.
life so many times. I told you about this. That Glimmer Cape into the Timber Chain. It's so annoying to deal with as a Timber. If you're going up against a Timber style. Pero Roshan is about to go down here. They have a bat. They have Green Beat. They have more than enough damage with Green and his Bloodbath. And they have to save the form of that Greed as well. So kita man sila dito. They know that there's no lasso threat. There's no arena blood threat. And there's no hook shot as well. So they can freely take this Rosh.
Yeah, this is the go time for Roshan.
Oh, but no, nag-respond na si Batrider. They decide to come in the shop. And Grims, does he get some Rosh here? No.
Okay.
He walks away freely.
Well, Batrider is one of the best hero kasi to play against teams on the pit of Roshan, di ba? May Firefly, you can just roam around, check the map. May stick and napalm din. So, alam mo yun, ang hirap din talaga mag-rush
Pero mag-smoke sila dito as I think they had vision thanks to the rocket there, and Abbat is actually going to walk inside the pit. They know the real one's in there.
Yeah, they know.
Smoke ni Bob.
They know. You need to be careful then. Oh my God!
And they're gonna grab away. We don't club. Tamara, the multi-shot from the outside and the hook shot getting 4 people in COG. This is such a messy fight. We see a buyback on bot, up back, desperately trying to finish off close, but he does get last in, and so many buybacks are getting wasted now. Sir has a double damage. The Mantis has been up, still has a dismount, but I think this Roche is gonna go to the side of HFE.
It's too late. Ang ganda na ng initiation dun eh. Shackles kagad, 2 heroes, 2 guys, pero Arena of Blood plus yung multi-shot ng Drow. Nasa labas na yung Drow eh, free hit. Tandaan nyo rin, din yung cogs, saka yung additional damage din ng Timber Saw.
It's like 3-man cogs. He fit the entire team of Signal Ultra Warriors in there.
Akala mo disaster na eh for the Emperors. And this is the replay, man.
Yeah, this was so much control. Everyone was inside the Arena of Blood, but then inside the Arena of Blood, everyone was inside cogs. It's just so messy. Like that hook shot, only Tiny was outside. And then eventually a doppelganger out from a butt, but like Cirque with that double damage is doing the work. Look at that, 4 hits on down and he's down. Also gets a last hit on the butt and they force 2 buybacks. Yeah. With this Aegis and the buyback themselves, they can actually try to threaten some huge objective here, and Grims might actually drop down here. Hookshot is available. Zenki hogs back. Very nice. There's no real abut here. There's nothing for them to deal with outside of that Grims, and now he just goes down. Meanwhile, deeper into the jungle, Bob and Henry, you get a kill onto Eris. James, nice shackle there. Weird force staff, but he's trying to get away. Back with a snapfire cookie. Snap cookie. Arena of Blood yet again. It comes so fast off the cooldown. The focus fire is there. Somebody else trying to shield through it, but he does live through it. Kills off Jamesy first and ban. He's gonna drop down as well. Samael is there, and Bob's still alive actually. He's chasing down. He still has lasso. Everything else is on cooldown, but he has lasso. He might go for it. He's still chasing, it seems like. Force staff is available, but he's losing all his mana. He's gonna be diving. Chakram gonna come out and they call it a chop. Now they're gonna pressure this tier 2 mid. No good for fortification available para sa Signal Ultra Warriors ngayon.
Dieback talaga, literal. Dieback din yung Windranger ni James. And right now, tier 2 tower is down. And they'll go into the high ground push. Rao is one of the best heroes in terms of sieging buildings or towers. Look at the damage, man. Wala pa isang minuto yung kalahati na agad.
Oh man, and you have one of the best tanks for tower damage then. Timber Saw with that reactive armor. It doesn't even matter that the tower is bloodlusted and hits for twice the attacker. It doesn't matter. Because it's already down, and now they're taking down the barracks. They're walking it down. Grims, what can you do? Just bloodlust your rack so it's easier to right click.
So, lane secure and the toss back. Nahuli nila rito yung Batrider and Bob is down. And Abat going for the Timber. So, pero again, the Glimmer came in effect, and they're still pinging the Timber. Pero wala, ang hirap mabuli. And the blink from Ares. Does he have that toss? He can actually toss someone from his teammates, but yeah, cooldown pa rin yung toss. Still good. Still goods for side of the Emperors. Rocks yun eh.
Most probably may hook shot away din from Zenki, so I think they just decide to like not go for it. But we've seen it just works out so well. This Glimmer cape picks up, diba? Because like Timber Saw naturally does go down to magic damage, diba? Like, because he only works against physical with his reactive armor, but if you give him like a Hood of Defiance, which he already has, and a Glimmer Cape, so much magic reduction, so much magic resistance. And speaking about magic resistance, that's something that Grims doesn't need, because he's already dead to physical damage, and Cirque does his PV or doesn't even need it as he takes a kill on Van. Eris in the pit does decide to actually just blink out, and mid lane in trouble yet again. He gets caught. He gets caught in, and Ryu with a chakram, Timber chain forward, nice Spirit Mars into the cogs. It's another good combo. Does he have the win run to get out of this? It doesn't matter. He is down, and there's a DD on Cirque, and they're gonna pressure the melee racks mid.
Oh no, this is another problem again from the side of Signal squad or the Warrior squad. They're just gonna be finishing off yung range racks dito sa mid lane, and they can continue sieging. All right.
Look at that damage.
Tier 4, let's go. They're going for the tier 4s now.
Windranger's out for 31 seconds. Abrat cannot TP in, and a preemptive GG tree plant from Samael here.
Dire structures are fortified.
I actually haven't talked about how this item is like, it's so good on Mars. It's sobrang ganda nitong item na to kay Mars, yung neutral item na Ironwood 3. Kasi like you can blink in, plant a tree behind yung hero, and then Spear of Mars.
Pero hindi siya madali. It's not that easy to pull that one off.
Radiant's bottom tower
it's
has
the same
fallen.
concept as yung Wind Ranger, Blinking, Ironwood Dash, Ironwood 3, Nako shot. Parang same mechanics na ganun.
You need to have a good mechanical skills to pull that off.
Yeah, you just need really, really fast fingers, and Signal Ultra Warriors right now they need more than fast fingers actually. They need a fast way to have their heroes respawn every time they die, because it gets harder to defend against HFE with this Drow and the threat of that lasso, the threat of this Timbersaw. Sa Signal Ultra Warriors kasi they can't take down the Timbersaw so easily. Wala silang natural vessel carrier.
Wala.
And they're so down on kills that a vessel wouldn't even hindi sila nagpipick off as often. So a vessel wouldn't be it wouldn't provide or even be a good investment for them.
That's not.
They're engaging here, but it looks very bad. Through supports for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, stuck in this arena of blood, and Grims is gonna go down. He just really doesn't die during the arena. He waits for it to go down and then he can die.
Wala rin kasi gano'ng may offering ngayon. So far yung Ogre Magi. Sure, may Fire Blast, Ignite, but other than that, Bloodlust siguro pinaka-best. Ang hirap mabuhay as a, level gap na Ogre Magi. You're playing a position 5. Ito, na nila to. They're gonna go into the high ground here. Tatangkihin lang ng Timbers to eh. Yeah.
What I said about this draft not looking cohesive earlier, it does look like it works so well now. Like on paper, it might seem pretty bad, but this is actually very, very good, especially because of that pickup on the Timbersaws. It prevents him from dying. There's no real vessel carrier on Signal Ultra Warriors. No one to take him down easily. Like, he doesn't care about his mana. He has a Bloodstone. He has a Glimmer Cape. You can't hit him.
Tsaka kung sakasali, if this lineup or for the Emperor squad na manalo, this is the first ever na makita ako na Mars support in competitive play. I mean, for me, nakas ko. I'm not saying na hindi ba ito na-pull off, pero this is my first time to see if ever they win this first game.
Yeah. I mean, it's early on, we saw the Mars support kind of struggle. Kasi Timber naturally as a laner is pretty greedy, pero he was able to pull a creep wave. And they're going on an Enryu. Can they kill him? They break the smoke for what?
But the shackle is there. With Spartan and then 40 gets this, but here goes there ain't no blood. Samayan with the PKC. Look at the Timbersaw still up in the line. And the flaming lasso. Nahuli si James. And a good silence. Pero Visa late instantly committed. But then pa rin yung Chakra. Oh my god, the damage output. And 3 heroes down. Wala pang namamatay from the side of the Emperors. And they want for it. GG! Tinahong na! And the Emperors taking out the first game of this series. Oh my god. They really played well in the game 1.
Dude, that was such dominant passion coming out from the Happy Feet Emperors.
Ganun pa rin eh. Kaso this time around, the Emperors will ban yung dalawang super combo, yung Vengeful Spirit tsaka yung Drow Ranger. Then for the side naman ng Warriors, of course, hindi na palulusin yung Bloodseeker. But they'll be banning out yung Snapfire. Pero Tiny is open. Pero first pick Magnus.
Of course. Yeah. You leave it open, my team talaga nakuha na Magnus. Empower is just too strong, grabe. And if you put him in the mid lane, you put him in the off lane, that Empower is just gonna allow him to farm so much. And at the same time, we call this Shockwave is very good to clear lanes. So parang you have some way to create space on the opposite side of the map while nagfo-farm yung position 1 nyo. And you could also offer assistance to your position 1 by also empowering him, no?
Tsaka sobrang bilis eh na mga pag-farm. Hindi lang talaga yung Magnus eh. Even the position 1 or any melee course from your team, diba? So pamamala na ng empower eh. So dalawa na kakit yung magbe-benefit doon sa skill. Sobrang I don't know, man. Yung empower talaga is so strong. One of the strong abilities dito sa patch.
Yep, Cleave is kind of siguro in ways to put it broken this patch. I mean, it's not broken. It's just very strong. It's really, really strong. Like sobrang lakas ng Cleave ngayon, especially since you have there's not much options of armor that you have to deal with. And plus, what makes Magnus super strong, aside from of course empower, allowing him to farm very fast, is the BKB piercing AOE disable in terms of RP, no? So that's always very game changing, and people like to play around that.
Tsaka ito na, Signal Ultra Warriors going for their Ares is one of Ares' best hero, Mirana.
Yep.
POTM on bottom.
So this is going to be a very comfortable game for Ares, unless of course they decide to shut him down. Pero Ares always finds ways to leap around and cause havoc with his Mirana, and a really early Omni Knight pick.
Okay, Omni pick. Is it way too early to go for an Omni Knight?
I feel like Omni Knight in the offlane, or even as a support, can get punished really easily by just a few ranged supports or even ranged cores. But at the same time, you wouldn't want to guarantee yourselves ranged cores playing against Magnus. No, so just seeing actually what they intend to do. Omni Knight plus a nice strength melee core is pretty good. So maybe Omni Knight plus Magnus, or Omni Knight plus another support or another melee core. But Rubik is there, so nice combo with the Mirana. It also allows you to steal power, allows you to steal. All of Magnus's abilities are very nice to actually steal or borrow on Rubik.
I don't think Ares pa rin yung maglalaro ng Mirana because they pick up Rubik. Not unless kung magiging sync yung Rubik. Pero most of the time, si Ares talaga yung nagpe-play ng ng 4 na Rubik dito sa team na to. Okay, so ano to? 5 na Mirana. I mean, not bad. Okay din naman. Yeah. Kailangan niya rin naman is, just hit arrows, spot rotations. Tsaka yung kanyang Moonlight Shadow is super goods din dito sa ating game. One of, they can start with a fight by using the Moonlight Shadow, or pwede sila mag-disengage ng fight. One big spell.
That's true. Pero Mirana din naman is also one of those versatile heroes then. Being a natural agility hero, no, she can also kind of scale, not as well as the harder carries in the game, pero she can scale relatively relatively decently as a physical damage dealer, even as a magical damage dealer, no, because Starstorm, especially with like Aghanim Scepter, deals a lot of damage. Arrow as well deals a lot of magical damage if you do put priority into it.
And gusto ko rin yung binan dito ng Timbersaw. I mean, gandang ban din. It's one of a good hero against Omni Knight or even the Magnus. So tinanggal na agad sa equation, and they're also banning out yung Slardar on this game. Pero yung side ng Signal dito, I think they'll be starting off banning carry heroes dito sa ating draft.
And yeah, it's very worrying kasi to see a Magnus and an Omni Knight. So you know that there's going to be instantly parang a melee core that wants to take advantage of Omni Knight Dispel, Guardian Angel, that Purify, and also of course of Empower. So sa side naman ng Happy Feet Emperors, they're just banning out people that want to fight face to face, no, 1v1, and we can actually tank a lot, or it's very hard to fight them 1v1. So Timbersaw, Slardar, these are heroes who are very hard to deal against close range. Di mo sila i-kite, but as for Timbersaw, we saw like it's not as easy to kite him when he can Timber Chain around. So they just decide to ban him out. It's very hard to deal with Whirling Death Din in the lane. It takes out your primary attribute. So which is, if strength ka, your primary, which is strength adds to health kasi. So if it takes out your primary attribute, it also takes a little bit more of your maximum health. So Whirling Death deals a lot more damage in lane. They don't want to deal with that. So tinanggal nila yung Timbersaw from the hero pool here.
Sobrang ganda rin pala ng Heavy Degrees from the Omni Knight din. Pag tinamahan ka ng arrow, or even the Telekinesis Lift, sandali lang yun, negative buff duration, gawa nung Heavy Degrees ng Omni Knight.
And if you land it after, then there's also the Dispel from it, and they decide to take out yung Void din. So wala na tayo makikitang massive team fight potential for Signal Ultra Warriors, at least in terms of Chronosphere. They have plenty of other options din, pero they really have to make use of this Moonlight Shadow din to kind of start fights or pick-offs onto the Magnus or onto any priority hero really. Kasi it's going to be very difficult to try and fight into an RP if you don't have a lot of magic damage. It's going to be very difficult to try and fight into Omni Knight ulti. So, ayun, Signal Ultra Warriors really reconsidering their options in terms of what kind of cores or what kind of priority picks ayaw nila ibigay sa Happy Feet Emperor. So, PAAM, Troll, something na masasupplement talaga ng Empower ng Magnus.
Maganda nga ng ban nila rito Parang tinatanggal na lang talaga nila lahat ng heroes na sobrang magbe-benefit from the Empower. Pero Morphling's still there. I mean, the Warrior side can go for the Morph if they want to. Ganda rin naman yung Morph against sa Magnus or even sa Omni Knight. Range hero, he can just go for something like the Ethereal Blade build, yung shotgun build. He can easily decimate supports or even the Omni Knight. I mean, pag hindi sobrang farm o mataas yung level or high HP from the Omni Knight, walang magic resistance. You can easily take out Omni Knight then.
Pero, okay. This is a pick that we don't frequently see dito sa Nationals, and Underlord gets picked up here by Signal Ultra Warrior. So this is most likely going to be yung offlane Underlord, and it's pretty good. The Firestorm works really well kasi may percentage-based damage din siya. So up against like high health heroes, Magnus, Omni Knight, any other strength core really, effective din yung Firestorm. And plus, there's the extra fact na you can root people in and out of fights. Pwede ka mag-build ng Rod of Athos, or you can just focus on going for your Pit of Malice then, or even like a Yule Scepter is very good to keep heroes just annoyed in fights, no? May multiple levels of control ka as Underlord. Another disengage din in terms of his ultimate, and we're seeing this hero again.
I was like about to say na baka i-mid nilang Underlord, pero after seeing the Batrider pick from the Emperors again, they might reconsider that thought na, oh no, it's gonna be hard for a Underlord matchup against a Batrider. Okay, here's a good matchup against a Batrider.
Okay, so GMC feeling confident na etong Batrider na to is going to be by Bob again, so he wants to lane up against it using a Queen of Pain, so something that's a bit more comfortable to him. We've seen him play Queen of Pain more than we have on the Wind Ranger, so might yield favorable results para kay James dito, but Happy Feet Emperor is still actually leaving us to wonder if this Batrider is going to be in the middle lane, kasi they've already picked up that Magnus. Although all of these lanes are still interchangeable, we've really yet to see what kind of funky drafts Happy Feet Emperors are gonna come up with when they pick up the Alchemist.
Na-mention mo kanina, pocket stats or pocket picks. Here we go, man. Here we go.
The Alchemist with that Empower, and of course that Dispel from the Omni Knight. Like, he's gonna use so much of that regen, so much of that heal. They really need a designated vessel builder for Signal Ultra Warriors, but thankfully enough, they have the Morana to work on it.
Tsaka sobrang ganda rin na mag-amplify, not amplify, but magpapatong lang yung regen nung sa Chemical Rage. Kasi may regen din yung Heavily Grace So, okay, how to burst? So far may Sonic Wave, but other than the Sonic Wave, ano pa, di ba? How will you burst out the Alchemist on this game? They need a heavy position 1 hero. Oy, Slark, sasabihin ko pa lang sana, they already banned it out. Di ba? Kasi agawan niya ng stats yan eh.
Yeah. And you can't go late game on this. It's very difficult to go late game against Alchemist, against Magnus, because they're gonna come online so much earlier than you do. Parang mahirapan kayo maghanap ng way para mag-drag out ng game eh. Ito yung problema ng Signal Ultra Warriors dito. They need someone that's high tempo who can actually really punish Magnus and Alchemist as they try to farm. So someone is actively hunting for people and killing them. And so far, tinanggal na ng Happy Feet Emperors dito yung mga heroes na ganyan. Slark, Lifestealer, Timbersaw, Slardar. So these are all very good, hunting heroes. You can find someone, 1v1 them, and just decimate their farm. And Happy Feet Emperors closing out their draft with a puck. So who is supporting here?
Honestly, hindi ko na sure kasi all of these picks bukod sa Alchemist, di ba? Pwede mo gawing support or a core.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Alchemist support before, but that's ancient.
Yeah, years ago, man, years ago.
It's half a decade ago, and like now, looking at this draft from HFE, this is the funkiest I've ever seen here at the Nationals.
It is.
This is super funky.
It is, man.
Kulang na lang may I need background music for this. Where's the funky background music for this? Because this is, I like this draft a lot. I really like it, and I hope it works out. But the bear comes out from Signal Ultra Warriors, and it's gonna be a bot playing it. It's okay. It's a mid lane puck, and Cirque is going to be playing the Alchemist this time around, and so it's a support Magnus.
Yeah,
it's a support Magnus. All right.
It's gonna let the Alchemist work out. Yeah. And James with the Underlord, alright, mid laner na Underlord. Well, goods din naman against sa Puck. Hindi naman makapatay ng Puck yung Underlord as early as, you know, the laning phase. Pa-farman lang to, most likely. Pero ginawa,
also,
I do think,
I'm
sorry. I do think na, packet strats is time eh. They really want to go to the, ma-overtake nila. Currently, they have 6 points na, pero tabla sila, di ba, ng SMO. So, if they get a clean sweep, ma-overtake din nila yung STIE Olympians na. Di ba? 8 points.
True.
8 points.
And it's super nice to see teams play like this. Like it's super confident. They decide to pick up Alchemist. They decide to pick up Puck. So these are heroes that are kind of make or break it. Like if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work anymore. Pero it seems as though they're pretty confident. They're sure it's gonna work. And Signal Ultra Warriors, they have to respond by putting that Underlord mid, trying to at least get some value out of that lane. Kasi placing Puck versus Queen of Pain is alright. Pero placing Underlord versus Alchemist, you have a bit of a mismatch there. So the Queen of Pain might be able to take advantage of the Alchemist lane a lot better. So kaya ginawa siguro nilang offlane na Queen of Pain.
Okay, so they still played Rubik ni Grim to, tapos si Ares for the Mirana. Alright. So okay guys, here we go! Game number 2, best of 2 series. Lamang ng 1 game yung Emperors over the Warriors. So introduction, I'll start it off. For the side of the Emperors, we have Cirque for the Alchemist. Sino yung hindi ko na makita. So anyway, I'll just see you later on, guys. There you go, we're back. Thank you for the Omni Knight. Bob for the Puck. Samael for his position for Magnus. And Enryu sa kanyang Batrider.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the side of Signal Ultra Warriors, Jamesy sa kanyang Underlord, Abat on Ursa, Ares on Mirana, Grims on Rubik, and Van sa kanyang offlane Queen of Pain.
There we go. So right now, battle for the runes. James is here. Big bodyguard. And the leap into the arrow. Perfectly done. Nice execution by the side of the Warriors.
And I love how they decide to give it to Jamesy. Like, last game, Jamesy was playing on his back foot, but now they we want to give you a good start. We're taking all the runes and that aggressive early ward just to watch out for the stacks na gagawin dito ng HFE because of that Alchemist. So it's gonna be very scary.
Yeah, deep ward kagad coming from the Warrior side. So madali na may spot. Like you mentioned, sobrang importante yung stacks if you have an Alchemist on your team. Tamang farm lang yan. And contest nga ba?
Okay, gets it! 3 runes going to the side of Ultra Warriors, but now Ares is in a bit of trouble. The body blocks, the sticky napalm. He's not gonna make it out of here. He's gonna go down, and Bob actually picks up a kill of his own. So before the creeps even meet, both mid laners now have a kill to their name.
For the team yun, guys. I'll take it for the team. I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, we did get 3 bounties.
Plus first blood bounty rin on your mid laner, so di ba? Sobrang goods pa rin. Kaya nung sabihin natin. Here's the 3 lanes for our game 2. The top, the mid, and the bot. Sa Dota 2 guys, sa mga hindi familiar, we have 3 lanes being played by 10 players. So here's the view. So mid laners, obviously Slay naman nasa mid. Bob against James C's Underlord matchup. Kill potential wise hindi naman ganun kataas.
Van actually, he's just crossing the middle lane. He's like, you know what? Let's.
They'll contest. They'll contest, man.
Oh.
Yeah. Gaya na sabi natin kanina, di ba? Ito sneak and napalm, and they can actually punish. They can punish
has been killed.
Oh my god. Level 1 lang to They're forcing him out. They're forcing him out.
Kakasabi natin about Dota's 3 lanes. Pero here they are playing the jungle and not the scuds. Yeah, so there is also the additional place where you can get money and sometimes run into other players or other heroes in the opposing team, and that is the jungle. So scattered all around the map are neutral camps, and both teams are going to try to take control of it to actually make use of more farm or get more gold to get more items as well. And recently, neutral camps also drop items. So these items are for free. You can't buy them, but they have to be dropped every time you kill a neutral camp.
Grabe yung pressure nila sa Alchemist Ayaw nila na magbigyan na. Mahirap din kasi mag-lane yung Alchemist against the Ursa Fury's Wipe, pati anong tanky mo, di ba? The Fury's Wipe damage will still, you know, mag-stack sa ilang kalmo. RO miss though. Naging ano na to, aggressive versus defensive tri-lane. Sa top lane. Medyo...
It's so weird. You have your Rubik in your off lane, your Quap is tri-laning with Ursa and Mirana. Like, grabe, like these heroes you normally see solo lanes, or Ursa at least with one support. None of these heroes are naturally, you know, very supportive in nature. They don't have heals, so we have like intense disables, and Van taking punishment here.
Level 1. Naka-shadow strike though, he doesn't have any blink. And he's being forced out. Shove out sa kanyang lane. Level 4 sa level 3. Wala na rin. I mean, I think he ran out of consumables then.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're letting Grims actually.
So he's the core now.
Against the Magnus.
He's the core now.
Grims is the core. He's your position 3 Rubik up against your position 3
Magnus.
I think that's your position 3 Magnus. I can't tell. Maybe your position 3 is also in the top lane as the Bat Rider. This game is too funky. Okay, and so they're moving Cirque down in the bottom lane. Giving him empower, I think no. Samael chose to empower himself.
Expect a rotation. Expect a rotation from the Warriors, man. You know.
Yeah, and nobody wants to TP. They're walking across the lanes. Nobody wants to TP because if mag-TP ka, you're down for 80 seconds. Like, or you can't make a nice rotation in 80 seconds. You can't make something instant. They do onto Eris, they could panic kill from Zenki.
Oh, they are.
The arrow doesn't go though.
Yeah, you can right click.
Oh, yeah, the DD is there. Leap attack speed is also there, but the silence.
He has to leap in.
And
he will get it. He's fine with that. I'll take a kill.
He trades his life.
Yeah. However, yung pack nga lang nakakuha ng last. No, it's a shared na gold. 144 each.
Because of the towers and the creeps, and now, okay, so he saw someone TP bot, this is his chance. That Ursa TP bot, it's my turn to TP top. And now Ursa, if they still want to switch lanes, that Ursa is going to have to walk all the way to the top lane, and that's just not manageable. And actually, okay, so we have another DC. I think there might be a little issue with the Cirque's connection. Kasi since last game pa siya nag-DC-DC, but of course, that's one of the kind of adjustments that we have to make sa ano natin ngayon, sa setup natin, of course, with the whole pandemic, the whole quarantine going on.
Tsaka kung nagtataka kayo, yung pinag-uusapan namin ni Seth about sa mga lane swap, they're trying to avoid yung matchup ng Ursa and of course nung Alchemist. Luging Alchemist nun, as in mahirapan siya mag-farm. Kaya iniiwas nila, they're actually playing it, diba? He'll run up to the bottom lane, then kanina kita niya siya bot, TP on the bot. Pero ang problema kasi ngayon, TP siya so wala siyang TP scroll in the next 80 seconds for our game 2. But I think we're back and live sa ating game.
And now actually, Samael versus Abat dito sa bottom lane, and it's something that you don't also want to get. Diba? Like, ayaw mo ng Ursa katapat niya melee din because it's very difficult to pure strikes. And the Soul Ring goes down. Cirque does not get his Soul Ring, I think, because his courier gets sniped. Eris.
Okay, I thought...
Oh, he doesn't think about me.
Kaso dreams well, Kumuha na lang siya. Kaya naman niya, he throws the arrow to get the creep. Okay, that's mine.
It's the least that he can do. He knows he's going down to a situation like that. And okay, so we see the Heavenly Grace actually just supporting this Alchemist in lane, and because of all the lane swaps that have been going on, nobody is really super ahead of farming. Like, it's kind of just equal. I mean, it's 4 last hits ahead. Nakalamang lang ng isang wave dito siya. But like, Cirque is still doing okay. He's an Alchemist. Or like, those last hits that he's getting are worth so much more.
Actually, maski hindi nga siya, as long as hindi lang namamatay yung Alchemist, you can stop the Alchemist from farming, regardless, maski anong gawin nyo. They're just trying to delay it.
Look at the stack!
I think he saw it, they know.
Yeah, and there's a ward there from Grims too. So I'm just gonna block it, cheeky block.
He did block it!
This is such a fun game to watch. I mean, like, it's both teams are trying really hard to kind of secure a win right now. Signal Ultra Warriors want to stay on top of the charts, and even if they do give this game, they still they still stay at the top of the charts. Pero yun nga, it's that comfortable lead that they don't want to give up with. And now, Jamesy na lang yung kukuha ng stack dito because they already spotted it out. And that's a little bit of a boost for him in terms of farm as well. He already has a bottle, a bracer, and he maxed out his Firestorm. Meanwhile, Bob could go for another kill on the Ares here if he's feeling confident, but no. Wants to go to the top lane, assist maybe Chris here, or Cirque in the top lane as he's trying to farm it out. And
well,
bottom lane, a little bit of engagement. So no team really wants to give up. There's a corner, but oh! Van goes down in the top lane to Bob.
Nahuli si Bob dun. I mean, sorry, si Van. Ganda rotation coming from the puck. And James again. Wala, ang tamang farm lang. And the Rubik, the two supports. I call this supportal combat.
There's no way that both these supports can move around the map. Like, siguro if may action na mangyayari in some other lane, magtitipin na lang silang dalawa at the same time. Nobody's gonna bother canceling anything at that point na with the lane.
I thought the arrow will connect at the moment there, pero wala, nag-miss. And Samael taking his skewer.
Cirque actually, he picks up a pretty good item. It's a pretty decent item to have on a melee core, the broom handle, and they're going all out on Cleave. He wants a Battle Fury.
And he'll get it regardless. He'll get the back.
Structures are fortified.
What?
He tried to arrow the creep camp again, but Zenki tanks it, and now the 8-minute runes. They're actually diving bottom lane. Grim's here in a bit of trouble to Firefly, but Enryu also tanking a little bit of hit from a bot, and now heavily Grace tries
he can
to
still dive.
He does go down in the very end. The Queer also in a bit of trouble here with Zenki, left alone to his own devices. No heal, he only has a mango.
He can dive.
He's not gonna eat it because all of his spells are on cooldown. And a bot goes down, or a bot actually takes down 2 for a double kill, and he does go down himself. I jinxed it a little bit there. He was supposed to go down, but thanks to the tower hit, and also Bob getting a kill actually on in the bottom.
He was trying to cancel the tower aggro. Kasi yung Rubik malayo sa ancient tower, he was trying to get the tower aggro then. Wala, you need to right click the tower for you to get the tower aggro.
That's true, and already taking ancients before 9 minutes. This alchemist slowly but surely, getting those levels, getting those items, and he's very, very close to his Battle Fury. Just needs the perseverance. Actually, and are we gonna see a stack that's gonna happen here? And it's gonna be blocked by Grims.
Again.
Grims does not want any stacks to happen. Actually, he walks forward. Yeah, the kill is more important. So a butt here just trying to walk him down. Eris is also here. They do get the kill, and they're gonna finish off the neutral camp. A butt just also going for a Battle Fury of his own. So this is getting very, very weird. It's not as aggressive, but both teams are trying to find the kills that they can. Oh, James gets duped a little bit there by the puck. Puck already has Bob on his puck already has a Veil Discord, working on towards that Blink Dagger, and hopefully as soon as he gets that Blink Dagger, siya na yung mag-make na space for the Alchemist to farm. And speaking of space, gets a kill on Grims thanks to Coil and a little bit of nukes, and Samael in a bit of trouble here too. Bot actually going a bit aggressive, and he goes for Samael, who goes down 270 gold into the pockets of our little bear friend here.
Yeah, wala siya mataas. He doesn't have any skewer or anything, teammates on the part of the map. So another skill secure for Abot. So, mabilis lalo yung battle fury ni Abot dito sa game.
That's true. Siguro, the core that hasn't been making so much noise here, I think, has been like, so far has been Van. He's gonna change that. He's blanked in the bottom lane. The last one comes down. Sonic Wave doesn't do. Then they actually get a kill onto Onryu, and they do. They get the kill onto Onryu, but Abbat does go down. Van, does he have a blink? Can he get out of here? He's still a heal. He gets RP. That's the first RP in the game. Steel actually comes down a bit too early, but he is able to blink out. So very, very nice play. Coming out here from King Ultra Warriors, making it count, but Orb John away into the lift. Van is still there with the damage. The Orb, actually, I thought it was Puck's Orb, but no, it was the Orb of Grim that was stolen, and James still chasing down. John, Zenki is in a bit of trouble here. They do see the corner. They don't want to take it out. They're going for Bob. Bob needs to go down. Eris is there. It's like 5 people here. Well, 4 people here. As Abat did go down. It's 4 people in the bottom lane. Bottom jungle just trying to make...
Ano eh. Good thing meron history si James dun eh. Tsaka heads up play din coming from Samay. Nakita niya may spell, nagamit yung spell steal eh. Instantly pop the RP. Kaso meron silang Heavenly Grace. But where's the Rubik? Rubik giving up to James like a life of support. sacrificing yourself over the core, so it's fine.
He would rather die than have his position 2 actually suffer. So James Lee here. Is this the first kill that we're going to see onto this Alchemist? But no, he popped his own. He's fine.
Yeah, isang chemical.
We're not gonna see him go down anytime soon. He already has his Battle Fury. He's just gonna farm like crazy. Already 2k ahead. Already 2k ahead of a butt here as he's farming, and Samael also just playing very greedy, I think, here in the bottom lane, just taking all of these creeps. And meanwhile, there's a nice rotation on the van. Cancels that blink. Does he want to blink out? No, he gets leash. The stun leash. He's gonna go down. Samael with the unnecessary skewer, but it's okay. He just wants his dagger. He's gonna get some gold from the creeps. He's just gonna farm it out, and once he gets his dagger, everything is just going to be easier for the Alchemist to start hitting. Kasi like RP, if everyone is if nagkukumpul-kumpul yung ng Signal Ultra Warriors dito, it's just easier for the Alchemist to start hitting it.
Maaga lang talaga mag-online yung Battle Fury ng Alchemist gawa ng kanyang Grievous Creed, which is yung passive niya. Arrow!
Oh, very nice reflexes there coming from Bob.
Well,
Arrow out of the fog. But, oh, another lasso. Grims in a bit of trouble there. Stolen napalm. That's not even a lot. Ooh, that's a lot of damage though.
And a good RP. Yeah, it's fine. He knows. Alam na rin na Rubik. I'm dead. And look at that. Arrow finally connects.
Another sneaky arrow from the high ground, and Zenki in a bit of trouble here. No neutrals to deny himself to, and even if he's a little bit too far, Eris will take that kill onto Zenki. And middle lane is going to get sieged down here by Jamesy. They do expend the glyph, but I think they just want to trade it for the top tower that Bob is actually taking right now. And bottom lane is also going to suffer a little bit for the side of HFE, as Butt is going to tear down this bottom tier 1.
Yeah, tier 1 tower is finally down nga sa middle lane. Bottom lane naman, yeah, 2 towers. Super good stuff for the side of Signal. Or for the Warriors camp.
It worked out super well for them kung ano yung ginawa nila earlier on. They let Grims take the off lane for a few minutes earlier on. Kasi, because like now the Rubik has an either lens.
Talino naman
Shirk gonna go for a kill. Shirk is gonna go for a kill here.
Okay, Moonlight Shadow, ginamit, pero they don't have the RP this time around. Kakagamit lang ni Samael. And the blink in from Van on his Queen of Pain. So TPs, naka-TP out na yung Puck. But they need to get something out of this. May mga rotations And they nail the Patos, and they will take out Samael's Magnator, Magnus. However, lang kakainin yata rito si Graves, pero nakita si Kuya. Okay, my big brother is here, bro. Come try.
Right now, nag-exchange sila ng sticky napalm because Grim stole sticky napalm kasi dito. So they're just exchanging napalm, but now he sees the Puck with his napalm. Look at how much damage that Puck does with that veil.
They can't go for the
turn around.
He's
so slow. Meanwhile, top lane, Drake here actually trying to go for a kill on the Dinky. Dinky forced to pop the ult. Onryu is also here with that Firefly and his boots of travel, but Jamesy,
there's no way you
took
can
so long for him to turn around.
Yeah. 7 stick and napalm stacks na Rubik, nakakawa. Move speed, turn speed. Diba?
Oh, fakes the RP, Puck takes it, but now Stern actually gonna stun himself thanks to that.
Actually, they can go for the fight. Pero ito na. Ito na. Oh, the skewer misses na! Pwede mo mamatay yung Bat Rider! Just one hit!
Onryu stays alive.
Man,
because
this
the Starstorm, yeah, the Starstorm went into somebody else. It didn't. The second Starstorm didn't land on him, so he managed to break through just fine. This game is just like a bunch of close calls and just like a bunch of really wacky plays, but it's all working out for either team. Like even with the Alchemist pick, it's not a gigantic lead for the side of HFE, or at least not yet. And I think Signal Ultra Warriors, they want to make they want to put a stop to this Alchemist, so they want to actively keep looking for him. But again, like if the Omni Knight's not with him, it's Alchemist that's with him, giving him the empower, and along with his battlefield, having him farm all the extra skills. And Onryu is still basically playing the same game he was playing in the last game, no? Just making a lot of space, playing the mid lane, and just boots traveling into fights. But meanwhile, Bob in a bit of trouble here. Does expend the ulti, and there's no steal here from Grims. to try and make use of that. But he's alright with that. He does have an escape in the form of the Dracula's Soul Orb.
Tsaka pinap din yung Guardian Angel for that one, just to, you know, make sure na makakasurvive si Bob on the puck.
And this is the most awkward Queen of Pain build we've seen so far at the Nationals. Just an instant rush into Arcane Boots' mechanism. So going for that Greaves build actually is Van, and he's doing alright in terms of farming. He's well ahead of, or he's not well ahead of Onryu here, but he is finding his own farm. He is like moving around the map, and arrow, that's dodged.
Pero dun yung
give them vision.
Ganda ng pero flaming lasso being used in the block with a waiting grip for the silent. And the blink is into the Sonic Wave. They'll take out the Batrider. However, yung Puck na even nahuli. Pero naka-Puck Bishop pa. Is there any way for him to escape this?
Oh! Not for long.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Van made a good play there. Even as about the illusion doing it. Thanks to the new Dispel, he dispelled the Puck Silence and he got the Sonic Wave. He got the kill on the Onryu, which is what they were looking for in the first place. And they don't lose any lives. So it's very nice from them. And oh no, BKB already finished for Cirque. He wants to go for an AC, and it's just going to be easy for him at this point. And Power is already up on him, and the Magnus is going to come over again, give him a second dose of that, allow him to get these ancient camps. And just look at this.
Easy
how much cleave damage does he do?
Empower, and of course yung Battle Fury. Sobrang bilis lang mag-clear ng stacks, or even you know, just to farm out creep wave. And arrow will connect on the Omni Knight. However, are they gonna be?
Oh, the damage!
Walang damage, walang follow-up. It's only a support duo.
Yeah, but they just wanted to force out, I think, the cooldowns, or try to force out an RP maybe so that they can do something else on the map later on once they know the RP has been expended. Oh, will he be able to jump out? And he does. He does get the jump out here. Oh, he's still chasing actually, Van, but oh no, Grim's is waiting in the wait for him. The root is there. He expends the coil, but is he gonna go down here? I don't think he is gonna go down here. Oh, but no! He took a little bit too long to actually jump out there, and he does pay with his life. Bob going down to a rotation from Signal Ultra Warriors, making enough space for Cirque to farm in the top lane, but still, you know, you don't want to lose your position too like that. Meanwhile, arrow combination onto the Batrider here, as we do see another pause coming up.
Sayang.
Yung Signal Ultra Warriors, they're making their pick-offs count na. They're picking off Bob. They're trying to find Onryu. So they really want to kind of snowball this para to make sure that yung Alchemist lang yung may farm sa side ng Happy Feet Emperors.
Pero ano rin I mean, okay na sana yung farm ni Bob. Ilang beses na siya napipick off, no? 2 consecutive time. Kaka-respawn niya lang kanina, then now he goes down again. So tatagal lalo yung core items na itong pack nila. However, si James nakakabawi, pero isa-side naman kasi ng Emperor Squad. Tuloy-tuloy lang farm ng Alchemist, regardless kung namamatay yung teammates niya, still gets a free roam, free lane. May BKB na nga siya after getting the Battle Fury as early as kanina.
Yeah, and he's going for the AC next, and I feel as though as soon as nag-AC na sila, he wanted to start pressuring more players, he wanted to start pressuring maybe even Roshan. Okay, that's a very big priority for them, and they have better Roshan taking capability from what I see, because you have the coil available, you have the lasso, you have the RP, and then if everything goes bad, or if everything is at the worst possible situation, may Guardian Angel pa kayo, if hindi pa patay yung minute niya. Pero yun nga, I think Roche is purely possible for them. May acid spray sila, they're gonna have their AC soon. Once the map starts opening up for them, I think they could just start steamrolling. But of course, the possibility for Abat to also kind of gear towards really shutting down that Alchemist now is still there, because like what can that BKB do? What can that AC do if we have stuff like the Abyssal Blade, we have stuff like MKB that's also very possible for Abat to build, since medyo nabuboost din yung farm niya thanks to his very own Battle Fury din.
At saka maganda rin yung itemization dito ni Abat. He'll go for the Halberd para hindi rin maka-right click away yung Alchemist later on during the fight. Plus added evasion rate then for the hero. So I mean, that's a good item pickup din or item choice. Or if
and actually right now Van has completed his Greaves, so at the same time na siguro Cirque and the gang want to team up here, the same can be achieved by Senior Ultra Warriors. My aggressive item, yung HFE, which is the Assault Keras, and they have the BKB on the Cirque, which allows him to really just group up and go fight. Pero Senior Ultra Warriors, they also have their own sustain coming out of the Screen of Pain with the Guardian Greaves already finished up. And may offensive capabilities din sila with this Underlord, with this Ursa. And, you know, they also have disengage of their own. They have the Moonlight Shadow if ever things do go bad.
Buo na yung Halberg. Pero naka-smoke up dito side ng Emperors. They want to go for a fight. They already used the scan. Pero man, nandito and the battle for the runes makukuha ni Ares, Batrider. Is he gonna go in? No. They decided to back. Pero Moonlight Shadow, dineploy and nahuli dito si James. Pero James yung one tanky hero for they stole in Heavenly Grace. Oh, ito rin GA. And nagka-chop-chop na rito yung kanilang activist. And in the concoction, the stolen GA. Ang una, wala na rin yung Batrider and Arrow connected to Zenki. Another Sacred Arrow, he will miss. Pero 2-4-0 exchange, still favoring, oh, make it 2-for-1 for the side of the Warriors.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
The courier.
Atos. It's too late.
A bit too far, a bit too late there, but 2-for-1 exchange actually. So taking out off-laning support, pero it does, you do force out a BKB usage. You kind of know what items Alchemist is building, so it's good recon, it's good information for the side of Signal Ultra Warriors. But at the same time, you know, a one fight, it just means that they can actually play around yung distant initiation ng Happy Feet Emperors. Signal Ultra Warriors, they know what they want to do in fight, but Alchemist, what did he do? Why did he do that exactly? Tries to dispel him, but no, he's gonna get taken down here. There's no point really wasting an RP, because they're just gonna give it another kill. And Cirque, the madman!
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
TPing in front of like 5-4 people. It's.
Did you see a butt waiting for him on the high ground? He knows, okay, here comes the Alchemist. This one yummy guy to take on to. They'll
And
get
this is
the
free
kill.
rush.
Easy rush to. Easy rush.
That's an Ursa and an Underlord. This is one of the easiest rushes that you can come up with.
Yeah, easy rush. Uncontested.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
But, like,
structures are fortified.
Not if Unryu is here to stop it though. He is pretty good at scouting out Roche. He has the Empire fight, but he's a bit too late as the Aegis is already down and goes to a bottom. So right now, I think it's back to farming maybe for the Alchemist. He just wants to maybe get another item here to propel him even more forward. But the rest of his team is already falling behind as they've given him too much space.
Even used his coil just to get a support kill. I mean, it's fine.
You have to prevent that leap somehow, and Bob will be pretty happy about that. He doesn't need to use it to fight, because they know that they don't want to fight right now.
They can't.
They know that they can't actually fight into a bot. They can't fight into Jamesy, and Van is just like, there's a lot of sustain with that Guardian Greaves, and that Battle Fury just decimating the creep wave. Pipe is actually already up on Jamesy as well, so a lot of sustain from that Warriors and HFE. The only person that they have to rely on right now is actually Cirque, who's still working on his Abyssal Blade. Oh, another smoke up from them, but are they a bit too far away?
Yeah, the Dagon pickup for the puck. Kasi di ba na-mention mo, they already have the pipe open side. So, alam mo yun, parang hindi ganun ka-effective. Ang tanky rin ni James dito sa game eh. And then Moonlight Shadow, get the lift! Ooh, I thought there was gonna be an RP and that was a great pick. Nahuli nila yung Rubik Abat. Napakita yung Egypt na Immortal. GA nandito na rin. Round number 2 for Abat. And they're waiting, pero ginamit niya lagi PKP. Pero nabat siya Abat. Pero yun nga, nag-pop din ang ultimate ni Orsa. And yung Alchemist nila rito, Sen. And ang good RP! It's a 3-man RP! It connects on to the 3-man score for the side of Signal. However, isa nilang Omni is out and dead! Oh no! Agad na sana, but there's no follow-up! Make it 4-4-2. Fuck, nandito pa rin, ha? And na-spot na nito ni Van. So may haste, swerte mo naman! Even the fuck giving the haste to his buddy.
He's like, you can have it, you need it to survive. And actually, Bob, I think he wants to go for something here. He still has the Gabon available. Will he actually commit it? I don't think he will. but he's just waving around these fights. He feels like he's not going to be able to die anytime soon. There's no real threat, but 3 people on him. There is a Yules up on Ares. He still has the shit, still has the jump, but the lift is there. Do they actually comboed up? He is stolen silence. He gets silenced up. Is this the end of Bob? And jumped away. Did he actually go for it? Oh, he gets a kill still!
He even used the coil.
But he does use the coil to secure a kill onto Ares, so which is pretty good. But he trades his own life for that. It's not an amazing fight for them, as we saw that it's heavily favoring Single Ultra Warriors, and the Warriors are still up by 4K in terms of net worth. Pero it's super difficult for Happy Feet Emperors to try and force out a fight with an Aegis. Without an Aegis, it might have been a lot better for them. But there was that Aegis, there was that second life that they had to deal with, and the Alchemist Rage or Chemical Rage doesn't last long enough.
Tsaka namatay na naman yung Alchemist. Wala silang follow-up eh. May Halbreak din kasi kanina si Abad. Nakita mo nagmi-miss din yung right click. Even na nagko-connect yung yung bash. Then after that, miss. Kaya tumagal din yung buhay dito ng anong Ursa ni Abad. Saka nag-pop din siya ng ultimate, nag-rage din siya. Kaya yung negative buff, diba? Sandali lang din yung effect.
Yep, and look at the item that Ares is actually going for, a Nullifier. So it's something that's very it's very expensive for a position 4, but like as a Mirana, you don't really need to build anything else. The pipe's already on Jamesy, the Greaves is already on Van. You know, like what more can your team ask for? Some way that like you can nullify Guardian Angel. So you could like purge off Guardian Angel, you could purge off Heavenly Ghost. You can nullify something that's very good. And Mirana can also like reliably farm.
Nilalaro cancel yung bit of man. Okay, Courier. And huli. Pero patay. No way. Ayun, finally. Akala mo buhay pa si Abad eh.
That was so much damage. Oh, the body blocks.
He knows it.
He knows.
Oh, and there
they see him. The dust is there. Do they actually keep chasing here? The arrow will not connect. Jamesy is actually going to...
that was a nice silence! That was a really nice silence! The stone fingers on the fresh! And the girls didn't instantly pop. Yun lang. Murato rin si Van. Pero finally, the Bat Rider is out. And that table of action, it connects on James. Pero ang tangi ni James, he has to fight. Oh, the big RP!
Oh, he's canceling the RP! Oh, the arrow! Actually doesn't connect onto anyone from HFE, and actually commits the Abyssal Blade. Cirque there. Pretty a little bit salty onto Grims, but that's alright, as they're gonna try to take down this tier 2 tower as a form of revenge.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Medyo awkward ng game, mga team fights, diba? Parang, uphill. Tapos biglang magda-downhill yung progression ng game. Akala mo magda-dominate ng isang team, then the other team makes mistakes. It's a fun game still.
Oh, they commit acid spray onto a creep camp that doesn't exist, but that's alright. Like, there's no other objective for them to take, really. Because if they tried to go for yung bottom tier 1, Jamesy's already there cutting off their wave, and if they do take it out, it secures the glyph for the side of Signal Ultra Warrior. So they're just trying to really clear the creep camp and trying to clean up or trying to gather all the neutral items that they can. Para when it comes to the next fight, they all have those upgraded neutral items, which is another thing that's really been mattering a lot these past few patches. They're just gonna come across each other.
And decide to blink out at the same time, dalawa sila. Dagon level 3, level 4 na yata itong buff ni Bob.
Yep, and what's actually going to be very good is, if he does decide to pick up the Shawl, it's just going to amplify so much of his damage. May Veil of Discord din siya, so that has a lot of damage. And we saw earlier how he's supposed to die, or Bob's about to die, but nakakadamay pa siya. He's dragging somebody along with him. So it kind of almost evens out a lot of their fights, which could be like total losses. But so far, they're kind of managing thanks to all these Dagon pickoffs from Bob. And
Radiant are scanning.
Actually,
there's
a nice scan there, catches out somebody, and on Ryu, they'll get vision.
Last one. That was a pretty nice rim, and the RP again connects on 2, pero walang follow-up set at the Abyssal Blade being committed on the Mirana, pero using the Q. Here comes the butt. Nara at the right clicks. Pero wala sa nahalin the right. There goes the middle lane. Arrow, but no! Tumama sa Baptos. He can go for the follow-up. And the daggers. Pero buhay pa rin dito. Wala pang namamatay for the side of the Warriors. Nag-buyback lang dito yung kanilang Omnia. Oh no!
Medical Rage is gone!
Triple kill para kay Abat. And Ryu also being chased out. Ultra kill pa nga. Disastrous fight para sa side ng Emperors.
Dire structures are fortified.
I mean, nag-underrift ba? I mean, okay, Dark Rift.
Yeah. Underlord ulti in the middle lane. I think they just want to pressure this, or I think they just really went greedy and wanted to give up the rampage, but they're gonna give up runes for this, I think. Oh, but no, Eris is actually already on the job, picking up runes on the top lane as that position for Miranda, but that tier 3 tower is gonna get pretty challenged by Abat and Jamesy here.
The damage.
Radiant's middle tower.
May solar casting kasi.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And nakikita ko yun at the bottom lane. And nahuli ng Pit of Malice. Ganda ng combo.
That conditions what the Alchemist talked about. It's so make or break, right? And if the rest of your team doesn't have like so much space to function, or they can't get or they can't support you in the fight since they've been supporting you in lane, you just end up like being able to do anything. Yeah, you have so much farm, but like if you can't pick up your BKB just in time, you're gonna eventually drop if you rely on your Omni-Knight like that. He's too late. You don't have buyback, and everyone's just falling down.
Even the Omni-Knight is about to fall, man.
Yep, and you force a buyback onto your backrider here in Eris, trying to run away here, but he's still on full health and just trying to really disengage and catch Bob and kill him.
Oh no!
Because he's only piece of weight that they have left, and he's gonna go down eventually.
There's a dieback for the Omni-Knight at the same time. 3 heroes without buybacks.
Lane, because they already got the melee racks and they just want to get the tier 2 top, and it's also, I think, just a bit in time for Roche.
Yeah, Roche is up. I know, actually, wala pa pala. Is it? Yeah, wala pa.
Oh, but it's very, very close.
Kunin ang yung objective, then they can probably wait for the next Roshan.
And Nullifier is already up in your position for
Yaman ng Mirana.
Pretty rich Mirana. Use Nullifier and a bunch of good arrows, along with a blink as well.
For a queen.
Natanik na rin si Abad. May Lotus Orb pa nga, just to ensure the safety of their core. Diba? Flaming Lasso could be nullified. Even the unstable concoction.
Top tower is under attack.
So he needs to be careful though. Pero may Satanic nga rin naman pala, so he's fine.
Yep.
Ooh,
still has
Arrow
that
connects!
Oh
And
no!
the Sonic Wave on 2! And there goes the Abyssal Blade! Flaming Lasso is to use on the back, and the back needs to be worried! Pero nakapag-reach siya doon! Oh no, nakapag-reach siya doon! And the stable concoction will connect onto the Rubik, but wala silang detection on this part of the map. Oh no.
Yeah, actually, I think yung detection yung malaking problema para sa side ng HFE. Every time that they decide to fight, it's always in an area na wala silang dalang sentry wards or walang sentry wards na nakalagay dun like beforehand.
Yeah.
Like yung fight nila sa bottom lane, walang matapunan ng unstable construction to Alchemist because invis sila lahat eh, walang detection sa side ng HFE.
And easy Roshan. Uncontested. Yeah, there's no way for the side of the Emperors to contest the Roshan. Rush. And they can go back and siege the final lane of Rax.
For defense.
Oh, for defense.
So, a little bit of banter there coming from Abatas. It is a poor defense, already down by 3 racks here. Yung side ng HFE, two racks in the middle lane and the melee racks sa bottom lane nila. So 16k net worth for the Signal Ultra Warriors and HFE.
This is the last fight.
Still stay in between.
They pop the smoke, but where's the jump? No jump still for the side of the Emperors. And the last tier 3 tower is down pa sa side ng Emperors. Oh, that was a fast blink out.
Oh, but he's stuck in the trees.
Oh yeah.
Good shot.
There you go.
Right.
Another Lotus Orb. Yeah, come on guys, hit me. And a bit of Malice. in terms of security lang. Diba? And the use, where's the follow-up?
Oh no.
Nasakay ko, and the
Oh
Abyssal
no,
Blade.
the Abyssal Blade!
They went for the Abyssal. Nahuli sa backline, nahuli yung Batrider, and the RP on one, only committed a chain. Pero here comes na ba? But pero yung Guardian Angel, where's the soul spent? Wala nga palang Rubik. However, they don't have the RP anymore, and what can you do? How can they defend? How can they defend you, please? Nakita mo yung damage ng cleave! And the Alchemist is down for the count. 3-man out. And but trying to box out the boys from the Emperor's side.
Top barracks are under attack.
Bob as well, just trying to clear the creep waves here, trying to do whatever he can. Picks up a little bounty rune. But it's 60 seconds without your Alchemist. Effectively like 1 minute without your Alchemist. You can't really defend. Even if your Alchemist is alive, you can't defend. Nakita na natin kanina eh. So it's not Mega Creeps yet. There's still a Rax in the... Oh, actually, scratch that. It already got taken down by these creeps. It's so close to Mega Creeps. Everyone's almost dead. And Bob's staying alive. And I don't know why they haven't called it yet, but it does seem like this is looking very, very grim for HFE right now. But of course, you know, I think it was very confident.
Look at Bob. Yeah, he really wanted to go for Ares Namirana, and he also bought back for that.
He's still doing it! The Dagon is still available!
There you go, finally falls. But on what cost?
Oh, Miranda bought back.
Oh, no.
Oh, he couldn't Dagon in time!
There's a
He gets lifted up! And the dieback. Yeah, Alchemist is up again though, and they could try to go for another fight.
Oh, they were getting! I haven't seen the skewer!
Oh, but he's gonna go something!
Maybe should go center! It's still fine! Orsa has the Aegis! Oh no! Somebody else with the skewer play! And the arrow also connects it.
Oh, the skewer back!
Don't skewer! May stable to capture it. Alright.
Wasn't the right target.
Nagbayback na rin dito yung Rubik. They want to finish this game.
Radiant's ancient.
And Abad needs to turn Teas and the RP. Where? Oh no, he missed the RP. He misses the RP. And GG is now being called, yeah.
They're finally called. Oh my god, that was fun! That was super fun. Oh, the arrow, right as he's about to skewer someone in the pit, pero that worked out super well actually for Signal Ultra Warriors. I mean, like, early on, it was super funky game, man. Like, yung draft mismo ang funky na, yung laning, it got even funkier than the draft, you know?